Hi, Sarah Outlaw here, and I'm going to be telling you how to make water kefir today, or water kefir, however you'd like to say it. So my blog, realfoodoutlaws.com, has a lot of recipes on how to ferment foods on it. So if you go to www.realfoodoutlaws.com, you can view this recipe along with many others. I apologize in advance for any cats that you see or children that you hear, because I am home and so are the kids. So it might be a little bit noisy, so I'm going to do my best to get this tutorial done for you. So water kefir is a probiotic drink. It's a fermented drink made of water kefir grains. Now, water kefir grains aren't actual grains. They're actually colonies of good bacteria that actually help to colonize your gut and help your good gut flora. So I'm going to teach you how to make it. It's really easy. Now you can get water kefir grains online. You can also get them at Whole Foods or Mom's Market if you live near one of those. I don't have them anymore for sale or to give away. I just don't make it as often anymore to have that availability. I used to be able to give it away, but I don't. So what we're going to do is show you what equipment that you need. So you need to have mason jars. So ball jars are the best thing to have when you are trying to make water kefir or any other fermented food. So these are key. You have a collection of these. You can get them from Amazon or from your local Walmart or hardware store. And you also need fresh water that is not chlorinated. So you can't use chlorinated water, or it will kill the water kefir grains. So you have to have pure water that's been through a filter. If you don't have a filter, then just boil the water and let it cool, and that will take out any of the fluoride and the chlorine that's messing with your grains. So the water kefir grains themselves, I can show you a jar that I already have. You can kind of see them. They are actually clear, and I'm going to take some out so you can see. I'm going to use a wooden spoon because it's not a good idea to use metal with water kefir. So I'm going to show you. I'm going to put them in my hand here. So you can see how they're just like little crystals, or like little, almost like big sugar, pieces of sugar, right? So that's what they look like. And these actually ferment water, which is really, really cool. So I'm going to put these back in. My hands are clean, so I'm not going to contaminate anything, don't worry. So, so that's what you need, is a jar with a tight-fitting lid. Now you can use a metal lid as long as the water kefir isn't at the top of the lid. You don't want any metal touching it, so you don't want to have any metal touching your jar here. I also, to strain them out, I use these little sprouting lids. I get these from Frontier Co-op. If you would like to be a part of my Frontier Co-op, then just let me know in the comments. I can add you to our list, and we order every month or every couple of months depending on the interest, and we can get these sprouting lids for you. I also have a bunch of them over at my office, so you can always pick them up if you're local to Cherry Hill. They're just like a couple bucks, like $3 for a lid. So those are super easy. Or you can use a plastic, I have a plastic BPA-free strainer that I got off of Amazon that is easy to use as well. So that's what you want to use instead of metal, because metal will mess with your water kefir and grains. So that's what you need. So basically, you also need something to ferment the water, right? Besides the water kefir. So water kefir grains feed on sugar. All fermentation processes feed on some kind of sugar. So what I do is I use this organic cane sugar. Now I don't eat sugar, so this is something that you need to understand, is that you're not eating the sugar when you make your water kefir with the sugar. It is what it needs to feed and ferment. You're not actually eating the sugar. Okay, so what we do is very easy. You take a clean jar, and you take a few tablespoons of water kefir grains. Let me see if you can see this here. And let me see if I have my little, so I want to use this little thing here. So this is much easier. If you have a funnel like this is my canning funnel. It's really easy to use this so you don't spill them everywhere. So what I do is I take the water kefir grains and I put them in the jar like this. Okay, so I just put a couple scoops in. The great thing about water kefir grains is that they multiply. So the more you make, the more you have, and then you can give them away or sell them or whatever you want to do to your friends and your family or whoever. So I just take a few scoops. The colder the temperature, the longer these take to ferment. So in the summertime, you can get water kefir proliferating every couple of days, but as the months get colder, it gets a lot more difficult. So that is about 1/4 cup of water kefir grains in the bottom. I'm going to put just a little bit more. These have been dormant for a while, so I don't have much faith that they're going to do very much, at least not for now. So that's what we do for that. Then you take your organic cane sugar and you put 2 big tablespoons of sugar in there. Let's put a little bit extra just because I doubt the capacity of these grains a little bit. So, all right, so then you have to take some, it's optional, but I like to put some dried fruit in mine. Make sure you have organic. I use organic raisins or organic cranberries, dried cranberries. The extra sugar in the fruit actually helps the water kefir to ferment a little bit better. So I just put a few in. You don't want to use non-organic because the sulfur that they use to dry the non-organic fruit actually will kill your grains. So if you haven't already figured it out, water kefir grains are really temperamental and they die easily. So don't be upset if you kill them first few times because they are a little bit temperamental. So I just put a few in, that's about 8. And then you pour in some fresh water. So I have a filter, so I can use my filtered water. Now this isn't a full course, not gonna fill it all the way up, so it's gonna fill it just shy, which is fine. So then you just take your spoon and you stir it up just a little bit. You don't wanna rough them up too much. They're fragile, okay? And then you put your lid on, really tight. And you put it on your countertop and you let it ferment for a few days. Now, you have to be careful. I like to use the regular lids, the regular ball jar lids, because they pop. And you know when it starts to puff up a little bit that your water kefir needs to be burped. So we call it burping. So you actually just take the lid and just let the air out a little bit because it's going to be carbonated. So water kefir makes a wonderful carbonated soda-like drink that you can drink. My kids love it in the summer. And that is what we are able to accomplish with this. So they get actually like a soda, but it's probiotic, which is really cool. So that is, we're going to set that aside. Now what I'm going to show you next is how we do a second ferment, okay? So I'm actually going to dump out, let me get a towel here so I can wipe this jar off. I got something on the jar thing. So we take the jar, I'm going to dump out some that I already made. And I'm going to show you, actually I'm going to show you how to do this with the lid. So I use a sprouting lid, and you screw it on, like that. And then you just dump it, you can't even see it, sorry. Dump it like this. That way, all of your water kefir grains are trapped in the jar, and all of your water kefir is in your measuring cup, which is perfect. Then you just tap it down, you set the water aside, and then this jar is ready to be made into another one just like we did with this. So then you just do your sugar and your raisins or your cranberries and your water again, and then you're ready for the second round. But for the sake of, I don't have any extra jars handy, I'm gonna dump these water kefir over here where you can't see them off camera. And I'm gonna show you how to make the second ferment. So once your jar doesn't have any water kefir grains in it anymore, you pour the water kefir that you made back in. Okay, and then I actually have some more right here that I'm going to put in. So I'm going to do this. I have some extra because I poured some out. So I have some in this bowl right here. So I'm just going to pour some in. So I kind of want it to be, oopsie, got that high. I don't know if it was going to be really sticky. Okay, so then take this. Now for the second ferment, I use frozen fruit. So you can make any flavor you want. My favorite flavor to make is actually cherry vanilla. So I put frozen cherries. Frozen fruit works best because there's a lot of water in frozen fruit. So it just kind of, the essence of it gets into your water kefir. So I like to put a little splash of vanilla extract when it's done fermenting. And then I use the frozen cherries as my fruit of choice. So again, it ferments the fruit so you're not getting all the sugar. So for this batch, I'm going to be using some organic mango strawberry blend. So I'm just going to take some of that out of here, and I'm going to throw it in. Not a whole lot, like a half a cup of fruit, quarter cup of, half a cup, quarter cup, whatever you want. I just kind of eyeball things. I'm not a real big measurer. I don't really like math, so measuring things is kind of annoying to me, so I just kind of wing it. So So then what you do is you need to have another lid. So you take a lid and you put the lid on and you leave this on your countertop for 1 to 2 days. Then you, and if you want it to be extra fizzy, put a little pinch of baking soda in. That's my secret to making it a little extra fizzy, is putting a little pinch of baking soda in. It makes the carbonation a lot more efficient, and it makes it taste more like soda. So your original fermentation is going to be 1 to 3 days depending on the heat in your house. And the second fermentation is going to be 1 to 2 days depending on how warm it is in your house as well. You'll know, just taste it. If it tastes sweet and sugary, then it's not ready. If it tastes fizzy and a little bit on the, not sour, but just, it's kind of hard to explain the taste of water kefir. It tastes like soda, but not sweet. It's not supposed to be super sweet. So that's what you're going to do for that for the second ferment. So then I would recommend starting off really small when you drink this. So you're going to drink like 1/4 of a cup to 1/2 cup of it, and then you can work up to 1 quart a day if you'd like. So it's really, really good. So what it's doing, and what we talked about a little bit earlier, is that it's actually good probiotics. It gets into your gut. It helps your digestive system. It helps your bowel movements. It just helps your overall health. It's really good for your hair, your skin, your nails, because the probiotics are really good for and healthy for your body. And it's really, really easy to make, and it's cheap. So if you can keep reusing the grains over and over again, and they multiply, and then you separate them out. So I have all these jars of water kefir grains all over the house that just keep multiplying and multiplying, and then I save them. So, and then I can make as many as I want. So in the summertime, I might have 6 or 10 jars of it going, and I have all different flavors. So on my blog, there's all the flavors that I love the most. You can see the list there and how to make them. But basically, I have the cherry vanilla. You can have a tropical fruit. Strawberries is awesome. Strawberry water kefir is amazing. Strawberry blueberry, just plain blueberry. Lemon lime. Dawn, you're my neighbor, so I can give you some grains. So there's lots of cool fruits and vegetables you can do in there. You can even do vegetable kefir if you'd like. You can do a cucumber melon or watermelon or anything you really want. So there's a lot of really amazing flavors that you can use, and it's super easy. I like this way because it's easy and simple. I don't have time for difficult. I don't have time to mess with all the scientific reasons why you should do it a different way. This has worked for me for years, and it's awesome, and everyone in my family loves it. Except I don't know if my husband really likes it that much, but everyone else does. So I continue to make it and use it on a daily basis. In the summer, I don't really make it, and honestly, I'll be completely honest with you. In the fall and the winter, I don't make it a lot because I don't drink a lot of cold drinks in the fall. If you need to have your water kefir grains go dormant because they keep multiplying, all you have to do is put some sugar water into a jar, fill it up about halfway, and then put it in your refrigerator, and they go dormant. So you can go on vacation, you can go everywhere. And you don't have to worry about them going bad or dying in the refrigerator. You just bring them out and then start reusing them again. So if you have any questions, just leave them for me in the comments. Again, this was our Water Kefir 101 little basic workshop here. I will leave the web address on where you can actually locate the recipe and all the tools and what you need and all of that in the comments section. And if you have any ideas for future videos, I do take suggestions, so you can go ahead and let me know. Again, this is Sarah Outlaw from Real Food Outlaws, coming to you live with my daily or weekly workshop, and I hope you learned a lot. Take care. Bye.